Good morning. I'm filming this. It is currently 9:45 a.m. and I am just getting ready for my day. It's Saturday morning and it's not a game day, so we are getting ready, and I was gonna do a get ready with me and talk about Sorority Rush.
Yay!
So, Sorority Rush. Let's talk about it. Okay, it's really important to note first off that the way you start with a sorority, I'm gonna just cut my baby bun. Do you see how disgusting that is? Ugh, oh my gosh. I know someone told me you can just cut it. Oh yeah. Oh my god. This is a thing apparently.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Okay, so we are back. I just had to charge my battery. So, Sorority Rush, mainly how it works. So, the first thing you have to do is around now, actually, I think it opened up, I would say, about a month ago, maybe, a little bit earlier. But you basically sign up for Sorority Rush. So, that's step number 1, sign up for Sorority Rush. After I signed up for Rush, last year, I think it was about, $50, but I think that they increased it this year because Ohio State University actually overprescribed their admission. So the lookbook is basically that's really important. The lookbook is basically the guide of all of the vibes of the entire Rush process. So it's a really good resource. It basically illustrates out every single thing that you need to know about the Rush process, about what you'll need to be wearing at each day, what sorority does what philanthropy, how much it costs to be in each of these sororities, and all of that good information. So that's the Penhalic lookbook. So first thing I did after I signed up for Rush was go into that lookbook and kind of just get a vibe of what I'm getting myself into. After you sign up, it's pretty much just up to the next step. So what is securing your outfits and stuff like that. And honestly, a lot of the people I saw, they didn't buy I bought new stuff for Rush, but a lot of the people on my haul and stuff like that, they just were using other stuff that they had, which is completely valid, and I think that's honestly more valid than buying new stuff. So okay, each sorority, when you walk in, you'll see that they all have kind of a theme going on at each round, and each sorority is different. So round one is Meet the Chapters. So, Meet the Chapters, these are the character traits of Meet the Chapters. It's online on Zoom. And ever since COVID, they basically changed this to Zoom because it's kind of also easy to go to every single house all in one by your computer. And this process starts after winter break. So the first day that this starts is January 10th. January 10th and January 11th. That is, I think, Friday, Saturday. First dates of, all of Rush. So, also, let's note that at any point in the Rush process, you can drop out. I know that they don't promote that at all, but you're free to drop out, except when you make a bid. When you accept your bid, then, I don't know, you have to, kind of talk to your, whole sorority about the details about it dropping. But I'm pretty sure you can drop out at, mostly any time. On day 1, this is a Friday, yeah. It's from 6 to 11 p.m. So you're going to be on Zooms from 6 to 11 p.m. You may have, a break or, a bye in between, so you may not have a house for, 30 minutes. Basically, that's what it consists of. And then Meet the Chapters Day 2, which is January 11th, so that's Saturday. It's from 9:30 a.m. to 7:15 p.m. And you get a break, everyone will get a break to, eat lunch and stuff like that. one thing that's super important that you know, and they'll reiterate this like throughout the process, as you're like going through Rush, if you don't go to every single house, you're automatically like, you get put in like a bad spot. So it's basically like, we as like members of the Panhellenic community believe that everyone should be like heard out, basically, I think, and like represented, which is perfect. That's amazing. So basically, if you miss a house, like, you're in trouble. Like, you're not supposed to miss a house. I think that there's even like the option to drop you from all of recruitment if you miss a house. And this includes every single Zoom that you go to as well. But at each stage, basically, how the process works is you mark your preference and like order sororities, and then they also rate you and rank like how they think you would fit well in their sorority. But I think because Meet the Chapters is kind of just getting an info session, like, you won't have every single chapter on Philanthropy Day because you can drop like the chapters that you don't think you'll fit in or you're not eligible for. Like, for example, Phi Sigma Rho, they call it Phi Rho. That is like the STEM, the STEM sorority on campus. So and then I think there's also an agriculture science sorority. So the Phi Sigma Rho, I think it's like STEM. It's a ton of different majors. After you rank, I think it's like 11 preferences maybe, then we move on to Philanthropy Day. But I remember for us, for Philanthropy, we basically had from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., like, each chapter house will host you, all of the chapters that you have. You'll download this app, and like, your people will tell you what app to download, and at the end of each time, this is the thing that you're using, and also like you're talking to the SSC leaders about locking in your preference, and this app tells you your whole schedule, all your little things. A lot of girls, they wore like sweatpants over their outfits, and I believe for Philanthropy, it's going from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. actually on Sunday, January 12th. So you go into the union, you like meet up with your entire group, you listen to what everyone has to say, and then I think we had like a keynote speaker, and she was like talking about all of like sororities and what it meant to her and stuff like that. And then the suggested attire was Buckeye Pride. That's interesting. I didn't know that either. So this is Philanthropy now. Like, this was what they recommend this year. I actually kind of like this concept better. For ours, I don't think that it was this at all. I think it was something different because I don't remember wearing Buckeye Pride at all. But that's actually so cute. And you go and you learn about every cause, like everyone's cause that you have, every house you have. You have to go to every house that you have. After Philanthropy is Sisterhood. This is when things are like coming down, like you're getting like smaller, like the amount of houses you have is getting smaller. Sisterhood round. So this is Friday and Saturday. And you'll go to each round. This time it's like each chapter for 45 minutes. And then you'll have a 20-minute break in between to go walk to the next house or like chill for a second and then go to your next house. And you may have like off times because you're not going to have a full schedule. Like, you can have a full schedule, but you only have like a maximum of 7 houses at this point. So we went from all 17 at the very top, like at the first round, and then that's in like the Meet the Chapters, and then for Philanthropy it's 12 chapters, and then for Sisterhood it's 7 chapters. And the recommended attire for this one I thought was like business casual. Yeah, it kind of is. And this is what it'll look like. So they kind of give you all these info. After that is preference. So for preference, it's like the final chance to cumulatively ask everybody that all the chapters that you have left about about like any last minute things that you have to consider, because at preference round you have your final 2, I believe. So yep, you'll have 2 chapters. And at this point in the process, I know a few of my friends got like 1 chapter back, for example, or didn't have any chapters at all back. But at this point, like in the Rush process and also with Sisterhood, I believe that like you will fully know if you want to continue with Rush or if it was just like wasn't for you and you just wanted to try it out. And that's just how it went. You'll know at those 2 rounds. And honestly, you'll probably know at like Philanthropy if like a sorority is for you. So After preference, then that's bid day, and bid day, it goes from 2 to 1. So at the end of preference, you'll go to the union again, like after every single round, you'll go to the union and you'll make your selections. And you'll decide like who you want to do. And there's this thing called suicide bidding, so it basically means that you only want to accept a bid from one sorority. So I suicide bid like my sorority. Basically, you'll just have, after preference, you put in your final selection. This is like the attire. I basically wore a dress. I could do like a what I wore every single day, but I wore like a teal dress. It was kind of darker. After preference, after you make your selections, you go in, you suicide bid, or you can rank. The last day is bid day. So bid day this year, apparently it's on January 21st. So you'll go to it, you'll get your card, get your bid if you've made it this far in the process, and then you'll open it up and be like, okay, like this is my sorority, and then you'll run home. So you'll basically run to your sorority. You'll run to your sorority. Anyways, yeah. So that was kind of like a rough sorority Ohio State description. What I would like, I can make a tips and tricks video too. I really don't know if that's like entertaining or intriguing at all, but of what I did kind of for the rush process and how I managed. Number one, it's so cold. It is so cold, like you have to stay warm. It is so cold. And then like I would say secondly, I would say be practical with what you wear, because that's just so important. You're walking around all day, you're going to be tired. Factor in time to eat, like have a snack by you when you're doing all this stuff and you need to move around. In between rounds, maybe like go take a walk somewhere when you're doing meet the chapters, like that really helps to clear the mind. There's definitely a ton of other things. I could tell you like what I put in my rush bag. Like maybe I'll do that. That would be fun. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me and watching my video, like my little get ready with me and talk about Sorority Rush. Have a great rest of your day. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you in the next one.